Hi, welcome to my latest episode of KG Canadian Enthusiast. Before start the show, I want you to hit the like button and subscribe to my show. Now, let's start. Now, as we always know about general facts and considering, now the newest rivals to challenge the Lincoln Navigator, Cadillac Escalade, GMC Yukon XL and GMC Yukon and Lexus LX is the new Jeep Grand Wagoneer and the Chevy Tahoe rival, Suburban Tahoe rivaling Wagoneer. So let's talk. Okay, let's get started. Now the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, as you know, was last produced in 1991. It was way back, and many people don't remember this, and some might ask, how do I know? I didn't even exist back in 1991. Just so you know. But as you study, as myself, if I'm doing a show on this, I need to study about the Grand Wagoneer. What I have learned is the Grand Wagoneer is the original luxury SUV to actually emerge before the Range Rover, but you can imagine who got the more long-term success. But the reality is the new Grand Wagoneer is something everyone hoped significantly. As Jeep was selling $100,000 Jeep Trackhawks, I guess it's significant to say that this would be expected by now. But this is the big $1,000,000 question. Is it better than the Lincoln Navigator and the Cadillac Escalade and the BMW X7? Now, let's think about this. Now, I will have pictures with me because of some technical difficulties I have at the moment. But I see in the pictures, I studied them thoroughly and compared with its rivals prospectively, and I came to a safe conclusion. In terms of exterior design, I think it looks better than the Lincoln Navigator. I think it looks better than the Navigator for two reasons. The Lincoln Navigator is bling, lots of chrome, lots of bling factor. Whereas the Grand Wagoneer is more more old school design, more wagoneer, because name says wagoneer, so it's more wagonish. And it focuses on luxury. There's no attempt to make it look rugged, and that's all about luxury. And which makes me like the Grand Wagoneer even more. That's why I think in terms of exterior styling, it does look better than the Lincoln Navigator. So that's one up for the Grand Wagoneer. So what about practicality, or let's say about interior design? Now interior design wise, I again compare the two vehicles, and I can proudly say that it is better than the Lincoln Navigator. The interior in the Grand Wagoneer feels more special, it feels more high-end, more luxurious. It feels like Jeep really put a lot of thought to it, which makes sense. Because end of the day, if you think about it, if you're paying $100,000 plus dollars for a luxury, full-size luxury SUV, you want the best interior. And the Grand Wagoneer is now the new standard for American full-size luxury SUVs. I love the interior, the wood and the leather. Another thing I love is the technology. It's brimming with technology. There's so much. There are screens for the screen lovers. There are lots of screens, as you know. And the build quality, I look at many reviewers saying they are happy with it. So I would say it's very impressive. I can say from the first impression, the build quality is tremendous. It is better than the Lincoln Navigator. Now, of course, that means the interior round also goes for the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, becoming straightforward. Now for ride and handling and slash drivetrain, which I will put them in one slot. Ride and handling wise, like the Lincoln Navigator, it's body on frame, it's based on the Ram 1500. You expect truckness to it, which is fine. But the Grand Wagoneer comes with air suspension, so something to really, probably should come with might be. I haven't confirmed it, but I think it might be. So that would give it a nice, soft, supple ride, which I love about a $100,000 luxury SUV. And of course, what about ride and handling, as I mentioned? Now, handling wise, expect what to expect. So what about drivetrains in the same process? Well, in terms of drivetrains, you get the 6.4 liter V8 with 410 horsepower. It's the same engine as the Dodge Durango SRT 8, probably similar engine, which means but less power and tuned for luxury than performance. So 410 versus actually 471 actually. It's actually 471 horsepower. Please, I corrected that. 471, which is way more than a Cadillac Escalade, which makes 420, or the Lincoln Navigator's 450, which is 20 more, which is pretty precise. So you might think, yeah, performance-wise, it's above the competition. So overall, those three factors combined, Lincoln, Jeep Grand Wagoneer is better. Now value. Both of these things will cost well above 100,000. I'm not going to say, I'm going to give them them an equal point on that. Simply tie them up because they both cost similar money in the top 3-figure mark. So, which is best on both? There is no question. It's the Grand Wagoneer. Now, because you might think I talked about the Grand Wagoneer a lot, but not so much about the Wagoneer. The Wagoneer competes against more sinister rivals like the Total Land Cruiser, the Chevy Suburban, the Chevy Tahoe, more in line there. And in that department, the Grand Wagoneer is 50 million times better than those rivals. I can assure you from now, I won't even bother to tell you about some things about it, but I will. You get a 5.7 liter V8 engine, of course, the usual engine as you know, and then of course exterior wise they look the same, but the interior in the Wagoneer is built at a lower price tag, which means it's slightly less posh, but it's equally very luxurious. There is no problem if you chose the Wagoneer or the Grand Wagoneer in between. In terms of the competition, Chevy, Suburban or Tahoes, Land Cruisers, no chance. You can't come close to the Wagoneer. And it really gives you a fact. It doesn't make you feel like a lesser model, because it doesn't feel lesser, it feels equal. So what do I think about the both of the Grand Wagoneer and the Wagoneer? Jeep has got it right. And also one more thing to say, it doesn't have the Jeep badge. They have to separate them, but I don't know why they're doing that, because by now Jeep should be a high-end luxury brand by now. But I'm surprised why Jeep is doing that, but it's fine. The point is the Grand Wagoneer is going to be a success. I'm not going to be surprised. It's going to sell in bucket loads. It's better than the Navigator, and the Wagoneer is better than the GM, the Chevy and the Toyota competition by a margin. There is no question about it. In short, this might be another successful retro revival in these 2 years. What an achievement by Jeep. The wait is worth. Thank you very much for joining me on the show. Hit the like button and subscribe to my show. Thank you very much.